George Frideric Handel was born in Alla, Germany on February 23, 1685. His father was a Berber sergeant to the Duke at his son's birth, 63. With his second wife, blessed with his son George, and 2 daughters. Handel loved his sisters dearly throughout his life. At 7, George became a pupil of the composer, Sahau. He trained him in all the style of the different nations, leading George to understand to assimilate the styles by writing in various manners. This cosmopolitan education became his foundation. His father, who wished George to become a lawyer, passed away, and he enrolled as a law student at the University of Halle. Then he found a post of organist at the cathedral. After meeting Telemann and learning about the wonders of opera, he dropped out of university and headed for Hamburg, the center of the opera. He entered the Hamburg Opera Orchestra as a second violinist and was introduced to Kaiser, the ruler of the German opera. Under Kaiser was the best music school for his operatic education. His first opera, Armida, was premiered, and it was a brilliant success. He moved to Italy to learn more about the craft of writing opera. Handel secured the patronage of Prince Ferdinando de' Medici, who allowed him to write an opera, Rodrigo, a great success. His third opera, Agrippina, was produced. His fame spread to his homeland, and he was appointed as the Kapellmeister at the court of George Ludwig, Elector of Hanover. Prince George, with the possibility of becoming King of England in the near future in mind, sent Handel to London. His mastery of the Italian opera style now made him an international figure. His opera Rinaldo was performed in London. Handel composed his ode for the Queen's birthday, and he was guaranteed an annual allowance. From the death of Queen Anne, the Elector George Ludwig became King George I of England. In the summer of 1717, the king requested a concert on the River Thames, and Handel was commissioned to write water music. The Royal Academy of Music was launched, and Handel composed operas for the Academy, and he was extremely busy. He became a naturalized English citizen and changed his name to Handel. Same year, King George I died suddenly. Handel wrote 4 anthems for the coronation ceremony of the new king, George II. After the sensation caused by Beggar's Opera, the future of opera in the Italian style became increasingly uncertain. In parallel with producing operas, he saw oratorios which focused on English lyrics as business opportunity and increased the number of performances. But work and excessive worry destroyed his health, was smitten with paralysis. Handel premiered Serse, including an evergreen Largo. But the popularity of opera declined, and he was in despair. Invited to Dublin, Handel's greatest oratorio, Messiah, was premiered and created a deep impression. In the music for the royal fireworks, with which he celebrated the peace of the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, Handel began to lose his eyesight, but he kept his interest in music activities alive until the end. He continued to oversee the oratorio charity concerts, collecting donations and delivering them to the poor people. Having announced the previous evening that he would not receive more guests and was done with the world. Handel passed away on April 14, 1759 in London, aged 74. During his lifetime, Handel received a lifetime pension, but he also established a new style of working as a freelance musician. He was also a clever businessman and a marketing genius, left a large amount of assets. Handel had various flings with singers in his youth, but he never married and kept his private life very guarded. Handel believed in two kinds of music only, the good and bad. Apart from that, he appreciated all styles. Separated by a wall and about 200 years are the homes of two musicians who chose London and changed music, Handel and Hendrix. When Hendrix learned that Handel had lived next to his, he bought recordings of Messiah and water music. Handel had a great love for paintings, a prolific art collector, displayed favorite paintings in his beloved flat, especially in the dining room. He was a gourmet and a big eater, loved red wine, and would drink copious amounts. Consumed large amounts of wine at a time, the odor of which had been neutralized with lead. And lead poisoning damaged his health, leading to paralysis. He loved an eel pie, a rice soup with mutton. Barney once said, "Gourmethood appears to have been the only desire Handel allowed himself to satisfy." Handel was the first musician to be the subject of a biography and the first composer to be recognized as a great artist during his lifetime. As stated in his will, Handel was buried in Westminster Abbey, an unusual treatment for a foreigner, and his music is still played at important events in Britain today. At the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, at the London Olympics, the poet Leigh Hunt left these words: Handel was the Jupiter of music. The hallelujahs opened the heavens. His strains drop milk and honey, and his love is the youthfulness of the golden age.